Ooh, I can't stop fantasizing about you. Boy, your kiss and your
Was that adorable? Kind of adorable, right?
I love that.
Thanks. So that was James. As we were kind of, hello folks, a little tidbit. We were all backstage because I'm pretending I'm super cool because I have a really super cool guest, as you see her right there. Look at how fun and adorable she is. Anyways, we're gonna get to all that, but yes, it's a fancy day. It's a very exciting day, and thank you again to my friend James. Made me a cute little video and shouting out Luke. Look at, we got like kind of profesh. We got a logo. So kind of what we were talking about backstage, we were talking about how I have to like hit all these buttons, but it's supposed to be an authentic show. So here we are. You get the ramble in the background and maybe learn something on the way, right? Okay, so officially, hello. It's an episode of Tuesday with Tori, which is just a random name that now I'm stuck with because I'm stubborn, but it's not Tuesday. So don't worry if you guys are catching this like live right now and you're like, holy moly, I don't know. Does this lady adhere to a different pagan calendar? No. It's a happy Wednesday, which I think is even more fun because I'm just keeping you guys on your toes because when there's something to talk about, we're going to talk about it, right? And this all kind of started as I needed a place to kind of vent and do a soapbox because I moved from 8 years in the lubricant manufacturing sort of side of the business to predominantly condoms. And of course, condoms and lube, they're like happy married couples, even though I guess sometimes they're fighting because people forget to buy them together. Right. So I'd like to remind everybody, you know, they're kind of the same thing. And then this is expanded into, you know, other fun innovations as far as business or product development. And I've started to been able to reach out to educators and just other fun snippets of kind of a different side of this business as well. Right. And we'll talk about it later because I know you have a lot more experience with kind of dealing with some of those bigger Fortune, whatever, 200, 300 companies versus kind of the side of the business that at least here in the States is much more relationship based, right? On brands that the industry has supported for the last, 50 plus years. Mm-hmm. So it's been fun to kind of bring this together and then I just didn't stop. And it was really just, again, supposed to be me complaining about, oh my God, did you know A, B, and C things about resources or condoms? Or like, I remember being my mind blown. The biggest thing I didn't realize was a standard was like condom thinness is a thing, right? Mm-hmm. Because everything's just crazy. So it started as a soapbox platform. And now as it's become a labor of love, I've just been like, hey, I got a little diddly here. If anybody else would like to use it. It's really just been able to evolve. So thank you. And look, we have cute little logos. And I'm like kind of I'm getting braver enough. I'm like upping the ante and asking for, you know, real grownups that have been doing this to help also keep me accountable and do the thing. So thanks. I always say like, you know, it's not a monetization sort of show we're doing here. I do it for the one person. And today you get to be the one person that I get to annoy. So thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and before we do like episode overview, I'm just going to give you, right, a whole minute because I could list off, I think I bullet pointed them here, all the fabulous things that you do and continue to do or have done as far as just, you know, being one of the people that are helping to pave the way for genuine conversations about not just your sexual health, but like down to the nitty gritty, like what the why are we not buying into, and because I like to call us fellow condom crusaders, right? Like what are the hurdles you're starting to see too? And so welcome guys. This is my show where it's like, you're having a free consulting sort of meeting dinner, maybe, right? I don't know. That was one of the things we were talking about. Was like that's how I basically learned anything. Was I just sat in other people's meetings and got brave enough to make me think myself, right?
Yeah.
So welcome to our meeting. I guess we would start with like, oh, who's taking notes and introduce today's guest, right? The fairy clit mother, right?
Yeah.
If that makes us like what we were saying, condom fairies, right? Or fae, if you're getting
Yes.
real cool. So you get to be the clit mother. I'll still figure mine out. It's gonna come, but I'm working with. Oh, it's gonna come. I'm making myself crack up today. I guess I'll stick with condom charmer for the moment, right? I don't know if you heard that story. It was
No, how did you get that?
there's a what is this book called for real? It's an astrology book.
Okay.
Their idea, you've probably seen it. It's a sextrology book, but their whole thing is there's actually like 24 zodiac signs and not 12, and then they kind of go into different spiritual awakenings, and they talk about different like sexual pairings and things like that. It's very interesting, very detailed. But they call a Libra woman the charmer, and a Libra character. I'm like, you know what? That's just accurate, right? So that's the nickname until anybody gives me a better one, right?
I love it though; it fits.
It already, guys. It's beautiful. Okay, clit mother for sure.
Yeah.
Do your thing.
I was gonna say, so I've been in the adult industry, I'd say, for going on 13, 14 years now. I fell in love, and I felt, I saw a need when I was in college. I took a human sexuality class. I had my first orgasm, and I was like, wait a minute. No one ever told me what clit was. I never had an orgasm. I'm like,
Hold
no,
up.
I need to educate people about this. I need to learn more. And then I catapulted into the industry, and I just made it my, it became my passion and my focus on it. I've been in major publications. I do private workshops and events. I kind of just do it all as just to get
You
these
do what
conversations
needs
started.
to be done.
Yes, these conversations are so needed in society because we are sex obsessed, but don't you dare talk about it, right? And I just think that there's just such a lack of knowledge when it comes to all topics under this umbrella.
Like everything under the umbrella, right? Hasn't it just been the last, 5-10 years that people were even considering pH as something that was needed in the equation, right? Which I love. Don't get me wrong. I'm not here to shame anybody or judge. This is all part of paving the path to now, right? The whole like, leave it better than you found it, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm here for it, but also like, let's make sure we continue to, make sure the education is out there.
Yeah. I do like the growth that, in the past 10 plus years that I've seen. Materials are getting better, education's getting better, access to me is getting better. We're kind of like a sexual revolution, if you will. There's so many educators and podcasts and books now and articles that you can read and really find some great information to help out like your relationship, your life, all encompassing.
Well, and it's not just, I know sometimes, and I'm sure, I don't mean to speak for you, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes because we do what we do, people think it's very categorized to just that, like, it must
totally
be a health issue only, right? Or, just you're vulgar or disgusting for doing what you do. I'm like, no, it's all part of it, right? Like this is your life. So whatever you're doing, sexually, spiritually, the mind, and like, what is it? It's probably Sex with Emily. She's always like, if you're not feeling very sexy, like when was the last time you took a walk? Right. It's all like your body's all ridiculously connected. And it takes me forever to get my mind and body in line for even 1 second. So I say things, but I know it's really hard, but it's all part of it. And this is a huge part that, I don't know. I grew up being very like, didn't want to share as much because not only was it my own insecurity, right? And I wasn't necessarily as curious as fearful. That's a different thing. But it was almost like I didn't want to be vulnerable in figuring out who I wanted to be like truly in relationships because things like I was intimidated by condoms, who's in charge of them. If I go and buy them, I don't want to run into somebody. I don't know what skin and Trojan mean. I only know about Trojan. And isn't sizing like the penis owner's job anyways? And, I don't want to, I don't want somebody to think I don't trust them, which apparently was a new one I hadn't heard of, which we'll dig into when we get to this fun article, right? So
but all those are barriers. Yeah.
Right. And it gets really hard to be in a place because I don't know, for me, I was like, I don't want anyone to have ammunition against me in case these things don't work out. so to speak. And I know it's really like why are you borrowing trouble? Sort of thought, but I'm here again to if anybody's just like, we have like a whole 3 people watching now. I see, yay! In case you're just swooping on in, right? I have to keep people like my friend here close. And oh hey, we get the hellos, and then Kate here too. Hi, thanks guys. Right, I joke I'm trying to keep my Dumbledore army close, right? Because it's been an interesting couple of years, and if condoms, not just as a form of birth control, but also for these scary STIs that are out there, if we don't talk about them as much as we talk about the next toy or the next flavored lube or whatever, they're never going to go anywhere. And somebody tell me that they're wrong, but everybody watching here, every store I've gone into is carrying condoms. Why don't we make more money on them? There should be, a condom and a lube leaving with every luxury item, because you're going to want a reason for that person to come back in. Hopefully you're not selling them reusable or disposable toys. I mean, that's one thing, but right, you can get a whole other crew come in.
But yeah, and also I think it's a lost, topic that you can use condoms on your toys if you have multiple partners. So that's also another, benefit to the condoms.
Yeah. Again, this is going to be fun. Okay. So the highlights, guys, we're doing our quick little introduction here, and we're getting kind of fired up. Like I'm harnessing my Aries node right now, right? Even though I'm a Libra, we're all messed up. And I'm just gossiping, right? We're spilling the tea because I feel like you have a lot of hurdles, even though you're in a different sort of channel of the adult side of the world, right? You do a lot more medical and a lot of nonprofit. Not that it's not still pleasure based, versus I'm over here in like strictly like how to make business B2B side sometimes. But I feel like we have similar. I'm just gonna say it's stigmas out there. It's it's hard enough to educate someone. It's hard enough to sell somebody something, but it's even harder when there's not just no information, there's wrong information, and now there's this negative stigma. In all your experiences, what do you think contributes to the big misconception that condoms are a hassle, and like why deal with them anyways?
Right. I think it's just the shame of them, and people act like it's going to ruin the moment. But I think there needs to be conversations and education about how to make that not an additive to sex, but part of it. Right. So it just flows.
That was pretty brilliant. We should like write that down. Not an additive, but it's just part of it. It's just part of the package.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I just think, again, access to it and education about them is really important. I do know, like, people will sometimes, like you said, like be embarrassed, or you didn't want to, be seen with condoms. So I've noticed that people will take them in private more than in public. So sometimes if you put like all the condoms in a public space where people can grab, some people won't grab them. But if you put them in a bowl privately in a bathroom stall, they're going to go like crazy.
Well, and then there it is already. There's somehow a bias, a narrative, whether, somebody said something to you in childhood. It doesn't necessarily have to, stream from, oh, I've had a horrible childhood. It could just be anything that happened to you shaped that, including just, the osmosis of society. Add that to maybe I'm, between 18 and 25, and I think I know things, but I don't know anything, right? My communication skills are probably very poor. So let's make it harder. Now I'm ramping. We're going to get there later, but it's frustrating when you're trying to, at least for me, I don't want to judge anybody or shame anybody. I just want to make sure that they have all the information, because I definitely did not have all the information, and I'm not blaming anybody for that. I'm just trying to be part of the, hey, I have information.
Totally.
How do you get all your information out? Like, how do we make this something that the younger generation and even some of the older generations want to buy into again, without being like, we have an AIDS epidemic again?
Right. I mean, again, I think they just need to be more educated, and it needs to be a part of the whole conversation, and get rid of like the negative stigma behind them. When you even hear certain people talk about, well, I don't want to have condoms out because then that's just going to encourage sex. No, people are already fucking.
I do
This
hear
isn't
that
to
one.
encourage safer sex, right? So it's that.
Or how sad. And this is just my anecdote. A lot of the Christian colleges, when I've gone to a few of the medical shows or the nonprofit shows, right? They're begging me for any sort of donation because everybody needs them, but they are strictly not allowed to purchase anything that has any sexual anything.
The irony.
Right? But
There's a
they're all trying to, these nurses and professionals all trying to do the right thing. And it's all part of the harm reduction, which I think is important in the world in general. But isn't that rough? Like, what do you do? And these are all rhetorical. People chime in. I'm truly just like, hey, how do you do the right thing? I don't even know. And I'm going to say it's the right thing because
I think it starts with the people like us. We're doing the work.
yay.
bring
And that's why
condoms
we're going to come
everywhere
take
I
over.
go. Yes. I was saying, I bring condoms everywhere I go. I bring lube, whether it be in events, whether I have them in my purse, like you can stop me walking down the street, be like, Linnea, I need a condom. I will have condoms to give you, lube to give you, a bunch of stuff to give you.
Oh my goodness. I so love that. I try to keep things, but I forget to restock sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
But you're absolutely right. Some of the best, and from a business or a sales side, some of the best leads or just most random leads that turned out to be something great are because somebody asked me what I did and I had a sample, or word of mouth to me is still the best marketing campaign anyone can ever participate in, because it doesn't matter. I'm drinking mushroom coffee because a friend told me to drink it. Okay. Like,
Right.
I'm getting through it, but it's the best way to, again, help the change. I know we can't save the world. Look at, like, we're superheroes. We can't change the entire world, but we're trying to, for
one
those condom
at a time.
Yes. For those few curious people, come at it. Bring us, like, you can do comments here or you can email us. I'll put up the socials later. Please bring it to us, because I think in a little bit we'll do a fun little myth buster, because again, you don't know what you don't know. And there was so much I didn't even know until I've been doing this for 10 years now. So I feel like a little wannabe professor right now. I'm like, there's no wrong answer or there's no wrong question, right? Let's just use our brains, right?
Yeah, never stop being a student, especially in sex, especially in life. Sex is a journey and it can fluctuate all throughout your life. So yeah, I love that. Never stop asking questions, never stop being curious.
Are we making good taglines for your campaigns next year? I like this.
Yeah.
I like this. Okay. Hi, everybody. I was trying to put up the cute little comments. So I don't know if you want to go back and see everybody, but we got a lot of fans. We got a love. Oh, and Lulu did mention, she's like, hey, because the doctor and the schools give them out for free. Right. Mm-hmm. So I think that goes back to, like, okay, well, why can, how do you make money on them? And it's like, well, also creating that demand sort of generation by people using them, because it's a commodity, even though you're getting something for free. I don't know. I had a coworker that used to always say it's getting, like, the buying habit done in your brain is the hardest part. So his example was always, when I go to the eye doctor, the ophthalmologist, right? They give me a free sample of the, little eye solution, the contact solution. And that's the one I use now, because I got a sample and I tried it and it was fine. Right. So, there's a different strategy, which, not every strategy is going to work for every business, right? Ours included. But yeah, there is a strategy to giving everything away, not like everything, like, use your brain, guys, but making sure that you have enough, especially if you're in the commodity sort of category of the business. If you can give out, whatever gratis, as people call it, or promo items. I think my girlfriend saying, hey, try this is a better way to spend $1,000 than pay Google SEO, just in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree. I definitely agree.
Blanca. You know Blanca, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she says, in case you can't see it, I will read it to you because it's exciting. As the mother of a 20-year-old penis owner, condoms are a staple in the household. It's not just pregnancy, it's STIs. Oh, but see,
I love that.
just smarty pants, and I do love that. But not everybody, or at least knows how to say the words or feels comfortable in that, or, needs to stop judging themselves because you're not promoting sex. Like, do we need to say it again? You're not going to make someone have sex because you gave them a condom. You can't make anybody
right.
Period. People will choose their own choices. So why don't you set someone up to make sure they have all the information?
Exactly. And access to them.
Yeah, access. There's that word again. It sucks.
And the access to can be a hindrance, I think, to sometimes with condoms because, the youth isn't always old enough to go buy them. So they don't know where to get them.
Well, and now we go back to, and they don't know what to purchase either, unless they've seen a commercial, which takes a fortune something or other company to be able to have that sort of marketing generation. So what else do we do? Right. And I think Lulu, you're 100% correct. When was the last time anybody saw a sizing chart, like a real sizing chart in a store?
Right.
I'm trying to change it. I made one, like a little PDF. I'm sure it could be more artistic-y, but if anybody needs it, I made one because this was also one of the things that was like kaboof when I first, kind of shifted to a lens more on condoms. I'm like, wait, there are industry standards for these, but how am I as a shopper supposed to know if something's thicker or thinner or more lubed or less lubed or ribbed if I don't even know what, especially in size, if I don't even know what the benchmark is?
Right. People don't even know where to start. And then they might get something they don't like, and then that will turn them off to it. But again, I think a sizing chart, the one condom's penis ruler.
Oh, I love it so much.
All of that can help. Yes.
Oh, speaking of which, I did, in case we get squirrely later, I have some flex and my condom blowy or whatever, right? It's an inflator. Because I was jealous of your cute headshot where you blew the flex up into a balloon. Seriously, if you guys are not buying the flex yet, like, we got to talk. No one, and granted, no one has told me otherwise, but so far, all the samples I've given out, I'm like, let me know. Like, tell me if you can feel it, like, for real. I have not gotten reports of yes or no. So typically people want to report on a negative thing. So I'm going to say, so far, nobody's come to me saying it was a poor condom and I really could feel it. So if you need some,
right, we have people that specifically come search those out. The flex condom. I mean, condom innovation really hasn't happened, and that's one of the newer, condom innovations that we see nowadays. And I do think it's great.
Oh, I can't stop talking about it. I also am gone down and this could be a fun other episode where we just talk to each other about the condoms we like and don't like. But I have sheets that have graphite in it now. And I just recently bought a t-shirt. It's like an amazing material that's being, literally woven into not just latex and rubber, but other materials. And these sheets, I got the night sweats, so it's a hot mess anyways, like quite literally. But it's much lighter and they never pill. I have to wash my sheets at least once a week, if not twice, because I have dogs and children and just, I live in Arizona. Everything's dusty and musty.
Okay.
But I used to hate getting, like, I'd buy new sheets like almost quarterly because I can't stand the pills as you wash them too much, right? No pills. Anyways, that's my PSA on graphene because they put it in a latex condom and like you can't feel it, guys. The heat transfer is amazing. It's super freaking thin and it's super freaking strong. It's great. Thank you, Helen. I love this too. I recently started sending lube samples with most toy orders. That's beautiful and amazing. And I used to tell people, right, like your customer, maybe you have a new sort of sales employee, and I know a lot of people get in their head, like, I don't want to be a pushy salesperson. I try to remind them that, like, don't listen to that voice and tell that voice, well, just make sure, because my customer will not be having the experience they want in their head if it doesn't include a cleaner and a lubricant. All right. And let's not exclude toys or let's not exclude condoms with toy purchases. Right. Because obviously this person would like to maybe be sexually active with a partner, but also works great on toys because nobody cleans their toys. Right. Nobody cleans their toys. So Just throw a condom on it. You can make it all fun and steady or glow in the dark with the correct ones.
Mhm.
Right? Use
I
it
love the
with,
glow in the dark aspect. Adds
so
a
fun.
visual layer. See, condoms
It's
are definitely fun.
They can be, and I don't know why they see the bad rap. I'm still puzzled. If anybody else can help us figure it out. So far, I've just really narrowed it to right. We've got the stigma, and the media is not helping. People, the education, right? People don't know that there's a size, and that they don't know that innovation has happened in the last not just like 50 years, but the last 2, right? There's newness. Oh, and not just I got this one too. Have you seen the new? Oh no, that's just Elite. My bad. Skin has a Supreme now. The Supreme feel it's even thinner than Elite. So if you're like, I can't do latex, oh, respect. Polyisoprene is beautiful. Just a
Nice.
lovely, lovely rubber.
Love that.
Oh, wait. Sorry, Lulu. I put you up and then I forgot to read. She says the one condom with lube is amazing. And for young adult, they are more open to learn about it. Oh, that Ultra Feel one. You know what? I gotta just give them props, not just because it's really cool. It's so basic, but they did it, and it's really hard to get that foil where there's a condom and a lube in the same packet. So I'm just like, from a manufacturing perspective, I'm like, respect. But yeah, aren't those amazing?
Yep.
Off topic. Hi, Kiana. Shout out to Tori's Lashes. Thank you. Wait, were you on earlier where I was like, I'm really excited? So I had to put on. These are literally. And I'll find a picture later if you're truly interested. But the box is like, these are like the money lashes. So I was like, I put on my money lashes because I'm very excited to have this conversation. It's fun when people can be miserable with you.
Hi,
Helen again. Oh, I love this. So much interaction. I send cleaners too. Yep. I've never sent condoms as samples because I never knew if they would use them or what type of interaction they plan to have. Fair. You know what? You never need to assume, but that doesn't mean you can't ask, right? Have you seen this new Flex condom? Love it.
And also, even if they don't use it, someone in their life could use it.
Oh, right. That was the other thing we were complaining about several conversations ago. It was, I have access to products sometimes, especially after trade shows. So I go out into the condom fairy. Oh, it's happening this year. Damn, you guys, don't go different this year. We have a plan. Someone will be like, oh, no, it's fine. I'm not in the condom phase of life, or I don't use them, or blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, great. But I'm sure there is someone in your life that doesn't get free condoms all the time. And it's like, we don't even think about that. Anything else, it's like, oh, well, maybe if I gave someone a book that you already had, I was like, oh, I'll give it to my mother. I know it's not even Steven kind of comparison, but, for whatever reason, condoms don't spark that. I will help somebody else with this.
Mm-hmm. Having access to the harm reduction on hand is amazing.
Right. Oh, thanks, Helen. She says those are good points about the condoms. Shank you. Look at that. We've been affirmed, my friend. All right. Now we're going to get into the main potato of it, I guess. And I thought I had this article already pulled up, but maybe I don't. So what happened was, family and friends, actually, we have a mutual friend, Miss Mila over at One Condom, right? Mm-hmm. And she's the one that sent me, maybe she's watching. I told her it was going to be yesterday, so I don't know. But hi, Mila, if you're out there. She actually sent me this article because I was on a call with her about artwork or whatever else. And of course, I had to rant, as we're doing here. And so she was like, did you see this article? And this literally came out on Monday. I'm going to try and post it in a banner thingy here. This is an AP News article. I know this is a crazy, crazy link. I just really up there so you guys know that I can send it to you later, but I'm going to do the screen sharing here in a moment. Literally, this came out on Monday, and I wrote this. I wrote something this episode differently originally, and then I just rewrote it because I was like, what Mila said, she's like, it boils my blood. And I was like, I'm piping hot today. So I was like, hey, let's rip this article apart because I think it's a perfect example, in a very, 30,000 feet view, in a very general sort of view of what condom crusaders like us are up against, not just from a sales perspective, but just a societal perspective of This article to me really brought a lot of anecdotes and a lot of testimony from young people to the table, but the call to action seemed very do what works for you, because we have emergency contraceptive and we have PrEP, which I agree with and disagree with all in the same breath, because reasons we just talked about, right? Education. Hold on. I'm going to use my brains here and figure. Oh, here we go. Share. Did it work?
Yep, it did.
Look at that. So I won't scroll too quickly, but maybe I can make this a little bit bigger.
And they never really discussed in this article about the education around it. I think if we would normalize, the lubricant conversation, normalize the condom conversation, people would be more inclined. But
right?
Again, it's more of a less an afterthought or something that's done before, not something that's a part of.
And is it just simply because we lack the information? Is this all propaganda? Is it like, again, I'm asking rhetorically, but I wrote down some key segments here. I don't want to like read it off verbatim or anything, but I'm trying to be like one of those cool people that bring the stuff up and then we discuss.
Yeah.
What was some of the fun quotes you have? I know over here they're just giving us some statistics, which I did a little back checking on some of that, right? Here they're talking about fewer young people having sex. I was looking at the latest statistics. It's like when talking about the misconceptions, like one of the big ones around condoms is, they're basing this number off of the amount of nonprofit, right? Those condoms that are going out for free, right? That's the assumption. And like some of these like surveys of who's being sexually active or not. So I'm like, this is a little bit ambiguous, because I know firsthand that the budget, right, that a lot of these companies, nonprofits, schools, universities, for example, the state of California, I could not bid on this year because the budget was no longer there, right? It was like, hey, state of California, we forgot to budget for it. Literally, this was the response. I'm paraphrasing.
So California,
right?
Didn't have the budget for condoms?
No, literally, the government was like, we forgot to plan for it, and now we're already billions in deficit. So no condoms. So if you're going to come out and say that fewer younger people are having sex in a general, sort of situation, I'm like, okay, this is with everything though, guys. You should check my information. You should check any information out there, right? There's always an angle. Said the marketer, right? So this also made me grumpy because again, the comprehensive sex education, which should include condoms as a form of sort of like harm reduction, is not even mentioned here. If you want to scroll further, which I think I wrote down some of the, like, what was the one that I was really floored by? I think we mentioned it earlier, where it was like, there's now a, what's, I know it was way more.
I was gonna say, I know that more people are using them though, because the statistic is in 1991 only 46% of people, and in 2011 it's jumped to 60. So,
this is exciting. So see, yeah, this whole article was very, very interesting, right? So it basically starts off with, oh, hey, by the way, this is true though, and I wish we talked more about this. People ages 15 to 24 have made up the new chlamydia, gonorrhea, and syphilis. I would say a lot more of that is syphilis than either of those two, which is a whole other episode.
Right.
But do you see that? Yeah, go ahead.
Do you see that age? It says 15. 15-year-olds can't go and buy condoms.
Oh, this is very true. So why? Question mark, big interesting question mark there. Like, what is, where's your data coming from, and what is there a solution in mind? That's maybe what I'm also bugged about in this article as we scroll down and we continue this article. I know there's a lot of, oh, hey, shout out to Adam and Eve, the algorithm works. I got to pop up. I got to pop up our ad here, right? So no joke. I'm just going to scroll down a little bit. Maybe we'll read one in a minute. I'd say more than half of this is testimonial. So to me, it seems a little like this could just be whatever, my conspiracy, my paranoia. Welcome to the show. I have intrusive thoughts and now I make you listen to them. It seemed very focused on the negative testimonies out there instead of a call to action being like, hey, we could educate more people, or did you know? The rest of the article literally ends with, do what works for you, which I agree with in theory, but their suggestions were using things like PrEP and emergency contraceptives like Plan B as the okay form of whatever you're doing in your sexual experience, because these college kids are doing it that way too. That's just what they prefer. So yay, be free. Which again, I got grumpy mom mode on me. It almost seems like the world would prefer anyone to be reactive rather than proactive, because by the way, all this medication costs a lot more.
That's what I was going to say. Right. Yeah. The price.
Oh, no. Oh, snap. Did you see that? I got the bad, sad face. Okay. I'll pull it up here in a minute. But I wanted to just give you some time. I don't know if you took notes or whatever either, because I know I got real crazy about it. But I guess in my head, I was like, this is what the article should have looked like, where I started with, some things that would have helped the article, right? Like finding the right fit wasn't even discussed. There wasn't a even mention that other sizes do exist.
Because I was listening to another podcast and they had said one of the biggest complaints about condoms is they don't fit right. Well, if you would educate people and show people and have, chart education information out there that there are different sizes, that would change a lot of things. Because it's like people think, oh, it's too snug or it's magnum. Like to me, it's only two different sizes when there's, 50 plus.
Well, right. And then by the industry standard, which I guess is a secret because there's a standard out there that nobody knows about, Magnum's not even a large condom.
That part.
Right?
But
Like
you always hear people, I need
condom.
the gold wrapper. I need the gold wrapper. Right. And they have no idea what
I do like me some gold wrappers. Yes, they're beautiful. I love gold, but I love being able to make my own choice. And I can't do that if people are gatekeeping the information or sending me articles. Oh goodness, when I can find it again, that's literally more than half testimonies so negative. And I was trying to find the exact quote, and maybe I'll find it here in a minute, but my paraphrasing was something I didn't even realize was a stigma, which is one of the students is quoted in the article saying that, well, not only is it something that people will only do if the girl insists on it, right? And again, I'm paraphrasing, but the reaction is very much just like, oh, now you don't trust me? You think I'm dirty?
And that dirty word, like, that sends me.
I'm like, I don't even know how to react. It's so gaslighting, manipulative, whatever it is. And again, I'm not here to shame nobody. This is the world we came in, blah, blah, blah. But how is anybody that's just supposed to, wait, you're I'm assuming you're in college because this is where they made the statistics, right? You're just trying to figure out who you are. Not only are you trying to figure out if you're going to get a fucking job here soon, do you have medical insurance? Maybe I am just trying to find someone to love me, and people get in their head, they get performative, or, they make, at least in my experience, women make a lot of, compromises or concessions when it comes to dating, because that's traditionally, what we've been taught.
Right. I'm glad there's people like us and other educators trying to change the narrative where, you take your own sexuality and your own sexual health into your own hands, and you are responsible for yourself. You're responsible for your pleasure. You're responsible for your orgasm. You're responsible for your protection. And I think that everyone should carry condoms. Like, it doesn't matter, what gender, what anything.
Right. Or I get a lot of like, well, I'm not dating right now. I'm like, but that could change. Or I don't know. To me, it's like tampons, right? It's my girl code. If you need one, even if I'm not using them right now, please, I want to support you in that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Kiana, I love you, but I've missed you. Sorry, I'll read what she said real quick. It's definitely propaganda. Plus, sex is heavily associated with romantic relationships, and some young people are not hyper fixated on having romantic relationships. So no sex, no conversations about condom usage. Yeah, I can see that. And hey, Matthew, hey.
But no,
So
I agree.
yeah, that's where we're at. It's there's no open communication, I guess, is the key word there.
And also marketing them, you're not allowed really to market. I mean, that's also a huge thing. I honestly can't even tell you the last time I saw even a Trojan ad, or, usually they would come on late at night or something.
No, there's a lot of rules. Even with, I joke, I'm like, condoms can get away with most everything because medical device, harm reduction, blah blah blah. Which lubricant didn't get the same sort of okay. But even like what I was telling you, I got shadow bans for 3 different things just today because I'm talking about condoms and penis health. Which
See?
again, the stigma of how is that vulgar when it's just another piece of your body.
Exactly. Your body parts aren't bad words. This isn't bad words, and we should stop treating it like that.
That was a really good way to put that. This is your one body. I have to take care of my teeth, right? I had to learn to brush my teeth for my entire life. Why is this part of my body nothing that I need to take care of as well?
Exactly. Or why is it that everything that you do need or want for those areas considered, negative or taboo, or don't talk, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
No,
it's
like,
sad.
I went out and bought toothpaste today, and no one's going to shame you, or say anything. But if you're like, oh, I got some condoms, someone might look at you. So,
right. Yeah. Which also I'm like, hey, we should lean into that as an industry. I know so many people that do not enjoy buying their condoms, even though, like, sidebar, everybody that can purchase all the things from me doesn't have to buy all 50 SKUs of Trojan, right? Like, there's so many other things. There's really only 3 or 4 different types of condoms in FDM. It's just different sizes. So there really is opportunity for adult retail to lean into what we do best, which is offer a better variety, right? There's still maybe 3 or 4 Trojan condoms you need to have because that's what everybody knows. That's what's going to bring stuff into your store. But it's there's information. Again, there's opportunities. You can have a better selection and not feel like you need to compete with them. Yes, their pricing is going to be different, but I pay $3 more for my Starbucks at every airport anyways. So leverage that to your advantage. It's a convenience.
I also think, so I work with doctors and clinicians all the time, and they were blown away just by the simple penis roller. And I do think doctors and medical professionals as a whole, their education, especially with sexual health, with everything, is really lacking as well. And so that's another area that we need to tackle as well.
Right. It's like, hey, since it's not there, why do we? Oh, I have it. I sent my friend this quote today. I was feeling not very inspired at some point. This is the Creative Act. It's the other co-founder of what was it, Def Jam Records. But this spoke to me, to her, and now I feel like I have to read it for today. Hold on, family time. We're gonna read out loud and be inspired together. Okay. Beware of the assumption that the way you work is the best way simply because it's the way you've done it before. So just because your ex was all weird about condoms, don't assume somebody else is also, right? Just because I'm here blabbing doesn't mean it's gonna look different later, right? Like you should be able to change your mind, and that goes for relationships, right?
Yeah. And Helen had a great point. People can run different industries and different businesses, but when it comes to sexual health and wellness, condoms, it's just not allowed. You can see all kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah, that's a whole other episode because I'd like to deep dive into the stats maybe and figure it out. But maybe next month. I I could have the energy next month. This whole whatever, we're gonna get 2 moons. I'll blame it on astrology, right? We're getting fired up with the articles and trying to break stigmas. Well, some people are still embarrassed to purchase pads, tampons, so purchasing condoms is damned. Oh, and then those things are already behind the glass, right? So most places, most stores I've gone into, you either have your condoms like in a cute little like gondola over here or behind the counter. It's a perfect opportunity for somebody to not have to be like, excuse me.
Right.
Can you open? I need the Magnum one.
Right. Or then you have to stop, you have a whole line behind you and, say, oh, can I have all those condoms? Now it's, you have a dialogue and then people are paying attention. And yeah, you're right. I mean, we need to make these, again, a part of the conversation, not an afterthought, right?
Yeah,
And,
I guess
and we need
I try to
educate.
remember, when you first maybe started being an educator, and you at least this happened to me. We'd be like sitting in a meeting, and all of a sudden people are saying nipple titillator all the time, and whatever else, and I was really like, oh my God, can I like how do I get around saying this professionally? Because somehow the actual name, the actual anatomy of the word has become dirty and whatever. So that took me about 2 years, and now I'm like the person that like has to remember, where am I on the plane and what advertisements am I, looking at right now, and how many times do I need to talk about anal sex? And this is why I get banned, because I'm like, another reason some people don't realize you should have condoms, because regardless, sorry, quick sidebar, regardless of all the prep that you can and should do and enjoy and whatever, and the backdoor stuff, I also recommend a condom. Ain't nobody got time to get sick because there's just other germs that go there, because that's where your body puts them. That's all.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Yes.
I don't know why I'm drinking this. Clearly, I don't need caffeine. It's the shirt. I'm all hyped up. Okay. You want to do our cute little game that I just thought of randomly, because I was like,
Yeah,
maybe we can be a little edumacation, like, right? Do I want these? Hold on. I'm going to like have it be cool and scroll right across, make it a banner. Oh, please, people. I'm also a producer. Yay. Okay. You ready? Anyway, the 2 people still watching. You ready? This is the education part. All right, we're gonna do like a Mythbuster thing. I'm gonna quiz. I'm gonna quiz the Clit Fairy mother here and see what's up. And then this way, you maybe didn't know you had this question, and we shall discuss. Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Number 1, condoms break easily. Me.
Yeah, I think this is a common myth, because I think it goes back to education. When condoms are used appropriately, they, tend to not break but they can break with a lot of friction, with, lack of lube, if you don't put it on right, if it's too small, like, so there's a number of different things, but I think it goes back to education, because they are pretty effective when used right.
Right? So yes, fact. Condoms are 98% effective when used properly. So again, in my opinion, if you are participating and being sexually active, you got to use your brain and be an adult about it. It is an adult responsibility as well. So that being said, if you can't put on a condom or you can't bring the condom or the things, we're here to help you. We can do better. They only break when they're used incorrectly. So right, like you were saying, you can stab it to death with your nails, right? Rubber is not meant to be puncture proof. It would not be comfortable or flexible then. But I think FDA tested them. They do like a air test to make sure there's no holes. They do a water test, and they do an electrical test, and they all pass. Right. So again, I don't know what I don't know. But I don't think the Marvel superheroes and electric body parts are a problem right now. So there's the condom should all work for you as long as you're putting them on right.
Right. And, even storage. People think that, putting them in their back pocket, they're getting rubbed on, it's hot, all that stuff. So storage is also important.
Yes, this is true. Although, like, and then I know some people are like, well, I can't even put them in my pocket. What am I supposed to do?
Oh,
Okay. You can put it in your pocket for like a couple hours, the duration of the date or whatever. The point is, like, don't take the same condom, right, and stick it in your butt pocket, waiting to get lucky some year, right? That's not what we're like. Leave. I live in Phoenix, so you cannot leave a box of condoms in the back of my car, right? They will just heat and melt, and you might not know. This is also why you're not supposed to open condoms with your teeth, which I've been guilty of because I have nails, because it's your teeth could rip and puncture and you might not notice.
That's one of the things I teach. So in my blowjob workshop, I teach how to, put a condom on with your mouth, and, you'll see in the TV and everyone does it sexy or whatever with ripping it. But you're right. You can puncture it.
Yeah. I mean, that doesn't mean you can't do the sexy thing. And, some people will put the condom on with their mouth. Perfect. But
yeah.
Don't open it that way first.
Right.
Ask for help if you have nails and you can't do it. Again, you should, in theory, we're here to tell you, Mama Toto will say, if you cannot ask this person to help you open the condom, I'm not sure where this relationship is going.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's not an unreasonable thing for somebody to ask. It's your body. You can be safe, and you're respecting their body as well. Mm-hmm. Okay, myth 2. Oh, sex doesn't feel good with a condom. This is a fun one.
Right. And you hear that.
Everybody not tell you this. Oh, I don't use them. Oh, I can't feel them.
I'm like, condom innovation. Condoms are so different. There are so many different condoms made for pleasure and designated for certain things that is just a myth to me.
Also, mind. Why are you telling me? And then they ask me for free ones. Right. I'm like, I would love to help, but I'm not sure this is helping. Okay, go on.
Right. And sometimes I think people don't understand, when you put a condom on, it can give you peace of mind. So you don't have to worry. I know, sex is very mental. So you don't have to worry, again, about pregnancies or STIs or anything like that. You can really focus on the pleasure being had. So
you can be fully present. Nobody needs to worry about, right? Everything, there's a positive and a negative to everything you do. Everything you do, you just need to know, is the juice worth the squeeze, right? Are you willing to deal with the consequences, right? Totally. Regardless, sometimes people rely on birth control, and, you got to take that every day at the same time. And sometimes your body does things you don't know, and you got to be ready to be responsible for, right? Mistakes make humans.
Yeah.
Anyways, there's guilting from Tori today. Okay. This one's a fun one. 2 condoms are better than 1.
Oh my gosh. I want to know where that came from.
Yeah. Who started this? How did
yeah.
change it?
Yeah. Like who, why, where? Because absolutely not.
Yeah. Like where is that written somewhere? I don't know.
I don't know.
Can someone tell us? Is it in like the I'm watching How I Met Your Mother and like
right? Was it a joke?
Yeah.
That people just
where's the bro code? Where is it written in the playbook? Can someone give it to me? I would like to redact it. 2
right.
is better than 1.
Yeah.
So in case anybody needed us to repeat that. No, that is definitely a myth. It is not better. I don't know. Do we need to tell them the reasons? Using 2 condoms, will it increase the chances of breakage because now there's extra friction to deal with? Also, if you're putting on 2 condoms, it's probably not going to feel great. And now you're like, oh, I can't wear any condoms. It's
right.
It's not going to work out. Okay. Just don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Here we go. I'm sure you heard this one.
Yeah. And I mean, I think we touched on that a few times. Right. We touched on that a few times. I think it's just a misinformation about people not knowing there's multiple different sizes out there. You do have some people that are, bigger than others where that can be the case, but there are plenty of different sizes out there, where you can find your fit.
Our friends at One have 52 different molds for that My One line.
Exactly.
I mean, again, no one's come at me after I sent them those sizes saying that they couldn't get the size they needed. Granted, they haven't said that they have, but my experience, people only tell me if it didn't work out, right?
Exactly. Nope. Yep.
This one makes me all sorts of things.
Right. And my thing with Plan B is it doesn't affect or doesn't have the same effect on people who are BBW like myself. So that Plan B really
Did
wouldn't
you
even work for
even?
me.
I didn't
So
even know that
like,
until I started researching it. It is on the back of the box, but nobody talks about it. And then go look it up, guys. What is the average weight of a woman between 18 and 45 in the US? It's 160, 165 pounds. It stops being as effective, at 150, 160
yeah.
pounds. And then people are like, cool, I'll just take 2. No, don't do that, because that is how you end up in the hospital. And we don't know these long-term effects. And
Right.
now you bought 2 pills. Now you spent $100 on Plan B, and it's just that, a B. You can still stay pregnant when you take it, people. I think that was in
Also, there's other
Israel,
STIs
right?
too. The Plan B
Oh,
doesn't
we
take care of. Yeah.
Do the thing, girl. Tell them about how, right, spit is still a way that you can get
Ah.
STIs. Miss Haktu. Not every STI is STIs are curable. For the most part, if something happens, people are gonna fuck up. If something happens, yes, go to the doctor. You more likely can get it treated than not. But right now there's scary ones like syphilis that are not easily curable, and you probably would not even know you had. Somebody out there saying, oh, well, you don't trust me, I'm not dirty. Yeah, you probably could have had a headache 2 days ago, and that was your one syphilis symptom.
Yeah, and people just, again, it's a lack of information, and people don't even know that you should get all the holes that you engage in tested. Even if you're giving someone some sloppy head and your spit drips down to their anally, and you have something in your mouth, guess what?
Guess what?
So yeah.
Yeah, I guess we'll skip to this one. You don't need a condom during oral sex.
See, you can put them on sexy. You can, you do, because you can get all of that in your mouth and your throat. So, yep.
Last AVN, I remember making a lot of friends with a lot of the sex workers or models, because they were like, I got gonorrhea in my throat. I didn't know that could happen. And yes, now give me all the condoms. And I do this in a testimonial way, not in a judgmental way. It was like, well, I guess, yeah, a lot of people don't talk about the fact that seems to be a workaround, right? It's like, oh, well, we're not sexually active. We're just doing hands and mouth stuff. There are flavored condoms. There's beautiful lube to put on your whatever condom you already like. But yes, you can get sick, and you can even get cancer in the throat from, undiagnosed. Yep. There you go. And it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. If you didn't know, now you know. We get out with that.
Exactly.
Also, dams, oral barriers exist too. And I feel horrible because on a good day, 3 options for anybody looking for an oral barrier or dental dam exist. That's it. That's another hole to go down.
Right. About PrEP.
Myth. PrEP makes condoms unnecessary. Again, I'm so happy it exists, like Plan B, but I think they all should be kind of sold together, right? This is step 2 if step 1 doesn't work.
Yep. You're right. You should still use a condom even if you're on PrEP, because again, it prevents or HIV, but not the other STIs that could be gotten.
The scary one. I'll say it again for the cheap seats. Oh no, I guess the syphilis is even scarier. Gonorrhea is scary right now because I heard there's a couple of drug-resistant strains out there. Because
there's different things. The more we keep going, the more different. I just think the more things are going to pop up.
I think so. Okay. Well, we'll wrap it up with this last one. But I'm funny. Okay. Condoms are only necessary for casual hookups. I'll tell you just a story real quickly that has nothing to do with a casual hookup, but I have met a couple that needed condoms because she has cancer. You cannot take do anything when you like, you cannot take your birth control when you're on chemo. You can't do it. And latex was uncomfortable. And so, you know, we ended up with a skin situation, but right. This person was very, you know, thankful, but it was hard to get the experience she was looking for. And why? Because she felt embarrassed as a grown person being like, hi, I need to figure out what condoms with my husband I've been with for 30 plus years. Right. So that doesn't sound like a casual hookup at all. You never know.
And that makes me so sad that using condoms is like a negative thing.
It happens with lube too. You know, you think I'd be used to it, but I'm still always shocked. I personally remember feeling like my world was over because I had vaginal dryness because I was nursing too and had allergies, and nobody gave me the kindness of saying, "You're not dead. You're not dying, Tori. You are A, nursing, B, you take an allergy medication." Right? Like it's okay. You're not going to die.
I mean, and that's the thing too. They don't tell people this information.
So
if you're taking an allergy, it dries up your nose and it can dry up your vaginal.
Right. The vagina is not connected to the rest of our medical body. So if I'm taking something to dry up my allergies and my sinuses, why would that be affected? Truly. This was fun.
Yes.
Are you grumpy? Did I make you grumpy? I realize it's like later over there for you, so I'm all like, yeah, rage.
No.
Condoms for everybody. And you're like, I'm ready to go to bed now.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna blow this up really quick.
Okay.
Because I know we were talking about the flex and I love it so much. And then I want you to do like your fun wrap up. Like if someone wants to get a hold of you, any other wise wisdoms, do your shameless plugs. And I'm gonna blow up condoms for fun.
You want me to do that now while you're doing that?
Yes.
Okay.
Do it.
So I have exciteme.com or bitemedesertbar.com. I'm on Excite Me on all platforms. Instagram, I have 2 periods between the X's because I'm on my 5th account.
Don't mess it up like I did.
Oh yeah, there's no C. A lot of people put C's in it.
Here's the right one.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm available for one-on-one, coaching consultations, pleasure product consulting.
I was like, also you can copyright. Like,
yeah,
you write a bunch of things. She's all like super smart, Cosmo GQ published lady.
Yes. And I love my new career working for a medical facility where I get to educate and do all those fun things.
And blow up condoms.
Yes. Look at that.
Aren't these cool?
Where did you get that?
We make them.
I need one.
Okay. Remind me. Send me your address. I'll send you one.
Yeah.
And then I make it dance like it's Halloween. Ooh, that was the song in my head. I don't know why. Guys, this is the flex. And I know it's hard to see in the camera, but like it's so thin and I can just like nothing. It's so freaking thin and it's so freaking strong. Like I know this is TMI, but of course I have to try things for science, right?
For science.
I'm not in the condom phase of life, but whatever, for science. And because really I wanted to call global and like give them crap. Really, this is what I wanted to do because I was all feisty, right? And I was like, haha, I'm going to try these. And I was like, it fell off already. This is ridiculous. Nope. Didn't feel it at all. So I had to blow that up and give it a shout out because I think it's pretty amazing.
It's one of my favorite condoms on the market now.
I agree. Oop, I got some, we're wrapping up and I just was going to say hi. Okay, Helen, thanks. Great conversation. Thank you both. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Mason, he's having Panera Bread
Mason.
What is up? And I was like, wait, we got to say hi. Next time.
Yes, let's do it again, Mason.
Oh, did you do an event with Mason? Yeah. I'm so jealous. He's such a great person. Oh, you did go to breakfast. Okay, so now I get it. That's cute. Mason, I'm glad we caught you on the end. You'll have to like rewind for all of our cuteness because this is a longer episode. I'm sorry, everybody, but I plan on like clipping some of those like fun conversations and myths later for y'all's education. Okay, again, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
It's a Tuesday, Tori on a Wednesday. And if any of this sparked a few ideas or insights or inspiration, like this again has turned into a show that's for all of you guys, right? The adult industry and the audience. So if you have ideas, if you want to be on the show, if you've got questions or you want to partake, this is what the platform's here for. So don't feel weird about reaching out. You can try and do the social thingies. I'm trying to work on it. I'm a grown up, kind of, and I just made a Gmail, right? For Tuesdays with Tori at gmail.com. And look at this. I got a YouTube. There's like one episode, maybe this one, streaming there now. Because apparently you have to wait like 24 hours and request and da-da-da. And I'm not even cool enough to stream on TikTok yet. So, you all have to help me get there. But
it's coming. We're
getting there. And thank you for coming so much. I know I took a lot of your time and we had rescheduling, but I'm excited.
We had a great conversation.
Thank you for being in the Dumbledore Army or the Condom Crusaders.
Always.
And if you guys need us, please come reach out. And then I try to do something like this every week, maybe on a Tuesday. Things change because it's a real show, but please do reach out. If you guys have any questions or suggestions, we're here.
Love it.
We're going to see you later.